Just what was it made us change our way of living overnight? What turned our resources, our machines, our whole nation into one vast arsenal, producing more and more weapons of war instead of the old materials of peace? What put us into uniform, ready to engage the enemy on every continent and every ocean? What are these two worlds of which Mr. Wallace spoke? The free and the slave. Let's take the free world first, our world. How did it become free? Only through a long and unceasing struggle inspired by men of vision. Moses, Muhammad, Confucius, Christ. All believed that in the sight of God, all men were created equal. And from that there developed a spirit among men and nations, which is best expressed in our own Declaration of Freedom. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. It is the cornerstone upon which our nation was built, and the ideal of all the great liberators. Washington, Jefferson, Garibaldi, Lafayette, Kosciuszko, Bolivar, Lincoln. Lighthouses, lighting up a dark and foggy world.
The government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Fighting, living, dying. For what? For freedom. That for which men have fought since time began. To be free.
Is life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
But what of this other world? Here men insisted that progress lay in killing freedom. Here they were putting out the lighthouses, one by one. Here the march of history was reversing itself. In Italy it began when an ambitious rabble-rouser set his followers marching on Rome. The country, like every other country after the last war, was torn by political unrest, hard times, unemployment.
First thing we want to do is to give you the daily bulletin. You'd be surprised, a little notice somewhere that you might think doesn't concern you might change your whole life, might decide on what college you'll go to, or might decide...
What do you mean you can't take gin? You get dressed in the morning?
Yeah.
Do you get undressed?
Yeah.
Well, you can get into a gym outfit.
They brought me into Mr. Walsh's room and they got me, dragged him for nothing. And I tried to explain to him and he says, will you take a detention?
No. A flunking student, a flunking student shouldn't receive such accolades. That's fabulous.
Knee length.
Here?
The knee is not above the knee. That's
Well,
what
this
you
is my knee.
No, it isn't.
Hey, look, I get Mr. Muller. I'm going to tell you something. Don't you talk and you just listen.
42 years is a mighty long time. I labored untall down in a coal mine, down in a deep hole where the bright lights did glow. Back in a dark room, I was fading up cold. My bones said it ached me, my kneecaps got bad. Down on a hard rock, on a set of knee pads. The motors were shifting, I got sand in my heart. Both lungs were broke down from a breathing bad air. Coal mining was rough. 18 and 20 hours, get wet, come outside and your clothes be close to stiff. It would sound like fiber hit them, make a rattling noise. They worked you like working a mule or a brute. I had the boss man to say one time, he said, you be sure, don't get that mule, no place where the rock will fall in on him. Don't take that mule in no bad place. I said, well, what about me? I was driving a mule in. What about me? The rock was falling on me. He said, we can always hire another man. He said, you've got to buy that mule. In other words, you thought more of the mule than did a man.
My grandfather was a coal miner and belonged